All right, ready?
3, 2, 1.
Why would you do that?
No, but it's not on the. They can't. It's not on the camera side, so they won't see the handprint on my face.
They won't see just that you've gored yourself.
My other hand was full as well.
Oh, I see.
Welcome to the NANICAST, everyone.
That's not the intro.
Yeah, it has to be.
This
surely.
is so loud. Here's
Let's put him on the allotted space. Oh, he's still
no.
going.
Oh,
He's still going. Oh, he's moving. He's like, is he?
No.
All right. Well, let's continue.
Can this be the intro?
I think.
What if
so.
they're listening to this? What if someone's
Yeah.
listening to this on Spotify? They're like, what the
Well,
fuck is going on?
They're gonna
The
know
tiny dinosaur
what
moves.
sound a Tyrannosaurus Rex makes. A fairly accurate T-Rex, I should say, because most of the toys that you get, I'll just describe this one. Most of the toys that you get have sort of hands-down wrist styles, and this one actually has hands-in clapping style, which is more accurate than you normally get on a T-Rex toy.
Yeah.
So.
If you couldn't tell, everyone, we have Freeced on the podcast with us today.
A special guest on the NANICAST, episode
7? Yeah,
it
it's
is
7. Yeah,
7, episode 7.
We've made it past any other podcast that we've ever done by at least 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Congrats.
wow.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Very good.
I'll
yeah.
cut that.
My last podcast actually ended with you as the last guest.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, after you, we ran out of things to say.
My
We're like,
bad,
that's
OG.
it, right? We
So,
finished. We
let's
completed
hope,
it.
Let's hope we can move past the Freeced curse.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I was trying to think who my last guest was. Was it Stoops? I think when I did the Breakfast Club. It was.
The last episode? I can't remember.
I think it was.
I definitely
Mm.
listened to it, but I can't remember which one was the last one.
I don't
Maybe.
know if that's a curse or a blessing.
Well, if that little monologue about T-Rexes wasn't enough,
Okay.
how about you give a slight introduction to Freeced?
oh,
Who Freeced is.
oh, hey, it's your local gamer. I don't know why I call myself a gamer. I feel that feels appropriative.
You play games.
I do play games. I play games with people's hearts.
Yeah.
And sometimes they break. That's not true. I don't know why am I setting myself up like this? What am I doing?
What you've done so far, we've asked for an introduction, and you've given us 3 things you aren't. So
I've released a wind up toy on your table.
yes,
Mhm.
I think I've just sort of reinvent my entire personality on the fly. Is what I've done. Hi, it's me, young Fweezy, Freeced even. I'm a lower nerdcore rapper.
not low enough.
What does my Twitter bio say? All reliable. A nerdcore rapper, singer, songwriter, dino enthusiast. I think is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's me.
Nerdcore carnivore. Is
The
that you?
nerdcore carnivore.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
With both horns set for war. I'm the devil on the 13th floor.
Very
That's
good.
me.
I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah. Another
So, yeah.
nerdcore
Professional Shwabadi hater for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
Big time.
Twitter account dedicated just to tormenting me specifically.
Yeah, I'm not a hater. More like like when Prometheus was like cursed for his crimes and he had to like kind of just stand there and just be like pecked by birds every day. Like I'm the birds.
You're the vulture that is for all eternity consuming my regenerating liver.
That's me.
Okay, so that's an introduction to Freeced,
Yeah.
musician and vulture. So
Over in the UK in person.
Yes,
we,
it's
we-
visiting.
We love
Yeah.
to get real life guests.
I've got my London hat on so you can tell where I am.
Yeah.
yeah, we're
We're in London. You promised me this was London.
We're not
This is-
in London.
we're in
unfortunately.
London too,
Yeah.
which is to
Electric
say,
Boogaloo.
yeah, not London.
Oh, London, VA.
Yeah, our precise coordinates will be in the description of this video.
No, but they will be on Twitter.
Yes. In due time.
On the Freeced Twitter account, I'm
Freeced
sure.
Twitter account.
Yeah.
And your exact address is this, Mr. Grinch.
You still, Connor, you still haven't seen the uncensored Grinch song.
No, I
Oh
haven't.
my
We have to
God.
show you that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone who was typing in Freeced into their YouTube search bar to go to their channel and subscribe, instead type in the Grinch song uncensored, and
Yeah.
it's featuring what's his name? Someone have a
Joel Haver, yeah. And then Haver or Haver. And then instead of that, type in Freeced Punch Drunk Grinch Slut, because I also do have a song about the Grinch.
Oh,
yes.
you do.
And it's very good.
And it's
very
very
hot,
uncensored
though.
if you can tell.
It's specifically about wanting to fuck the Grinch, right?
It's more just about how slutty the Grinch is. If you've seen the Jim Carrey Grinch movie,
Yeah.
he's very slutty in that movie, and I just want to represent that.
That's something he does, isn't it?
What? I think you're just making. I think you're just doing Diggs ad libs at me.
When he's trying his clothes on, he's like, ooh, ah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've only seen it once, and I was pretty hammered. So.
Once?
You've only seen the Grinch once? Oh,
Yeah.
you literally told me this.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
Willow was showing.
I've seen
showing
the
me
Grinch too many times, I think.
You've seen the Grinch 2?
No, too many times.
Many times.
I didn't know they made a sequel.
If Grinch's so good,
Grinch 2, many times.
They did make the like Minions style Grinch.
Oh, like the Illumination
Yeah.
animation one.
why did I think that studio was called Illuminati for a second?
Illuminati Studios.
Minions, Illuminati,
Something to think about.
Oh, it says a lot about
Yes.
society.
So welcome back to our Think Piece podcast.
Welcome back.
Where we answer the big questions like...
Well, it's not really a question.
Oh,
It's-
I thought you were going to... Oh, I was so confident in that segue. I really thought you had a question.
It's not really a
But,
question.
go on then.
I do have a question, but it was the second thing.
Yeah.
So, but
Hold
I
on,
want-
before we do move on, let me just make sure I...
Let me crack
Oh,
that
yes.
open. Yeah, cold one.
Yeah, it's very cold as well.
Go fuck yourself. That was my joke that I had about you opening a drink. I know you were wanting me to do one.
I didn't want you to do... Freeced has a bit. Freeced has a bit.
It's not my bit.
It's not their bit. It's a stolen bit from the fucking McElroy brothers that they do every time I crack open a can. And it is prolonged. And I was fully expecting it on the podcast, but instead they just told me to fuck myself.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to peek into the sort of relationship that we have, that's about it.
Yeah. Well, if you let me sleep inside, I wouldn't say things like that.
Connor.
So, something I thought was an interesting question would be to tell us something that we might not even know about Freeced. Like us. Like, obviously the audience may not know a lot at all.
Do you
but
want
what don't we know about Freeced?
What do you want? Do you want like a Freeced fact, like
Like a Freeced fact.
Freeced the artist, or do you want like a brain fact?
For either or.
Yeah, whichever
whichever's
is-
more exciting.
Yeah, whichever's spicier. More to get our teeth into.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What have I not laid bare about my soul over the years? I feel like there's always like stuff from a long time ago that people are just very surprised to learn, and it's usually like either like old media that I enjoy, or it's like some skill that I have. Like, people are usually surprised to learn that I know how to fence. Like, that's usually it.
I was gonna
But
say the combat training was something I was surprised.
I mean, I've talked about at least fencing before. Maybe like a little. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I realize now that I talk about myself too much. I think that's a big thing
there
about
are
me.
no unknown facts.
Okay,
Yeah, you have
all
no
right.
secrets.
Okay, here's some cute. Here's some
Okay.
cute thing.
Mm-hmm.
My first like teddy bear that I had. Well, two things. So I told you this week that I was super into polar bears as a kid.
Yes.
My first polar bear that I had as a kid was named Snowflake.
Oh,
and
that's
he
cute.
went with me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, as I picked up more polar bears, I decided that all of these polar bears were part of the same extended family.
Okay.
So Snowflake had a wife, two children. Actually, what he had was he had a child, Snowball, and then another child, Snowbell. But what happened was I lost the original Snowball and like a hotel somewhere while we were traveling. And so what happened after that was that what had previously been the Snowbell actually became the new Snowball. So
Just replaced the kid with their already existing kid.
I think that I feel that Snowbell simply transitioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I just had a trans plushie as a child. And then there also came into the picture a new Snowbell. It was even smaller than the original. It was a finger puppet. So, Yeah, I had
Okay,
trans
wow.
plushies as a kid. I
That's
guess is
very-
what I'm saying.
that's
If
very
anything.
exciting. Yeah, I had a small plushy dog that again went with me everywhere, like your polar creatures.
Yeah.
Polar
Um,
creatures.
And it was my dad was on a conference meeting, and they like set him up in like a hotel somewhere.
Mm.
And at the end of like the conference, when they were all going back to the hotel rooms, they'd left these like plushy little dogs outside of everyone's door. So the hotel just gave them away because obviously they imagined that, you know, a lot of these office people had kids and they could take this toy down to
okay.
them. And my dad was one of the first to arrive. And he saw this dog and he was like, "Oh, that's cute." And then he looked, and there was a split second where he just wanted to nick them all. He just wanted to go around and take every dog and just take them
you
all
would
home.
be tempted.
You would be. I wish he had, to be honest. All the dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Travis was
Travis,
He
that
was
was
called
his name?
Travis.
Oh, your
yeah,
dog
yeah.
was named as a man.
Yeah.
So my naming conventions, because I've had a lot of teddies
Mhm.
and plush toys throughout my life. So when I was born, I think it was my grandparents brought a dog, stuffed dog, not like a real one.
And this was the 70s as well.
No, it was not. So they brought
So you got a
this
taxidermy
this plush toy dog, and for some reason I called it Ashley.
Okay.
Interesting.
I
mean, that's kind of a
nice
dog
gender
name.
neutral name.
Yeah.
I think it was named after my cousin. 'Cause I don't think I named
Do
him
you
until I
have a
was-
cousin named Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I
Rough.
think
Because if you don't, I'm sorry.
That's rough on them. You named your dog after them.
it was my
That's
my
rough.
most beloved toy, my
So
plush
are you
toy.
saying rough like that's rough?
Sort of.
Okay.
Anyway, so I started naming my plush toys with like names, reasonable names. Ashley,
Yeah.
that's a decent name, right?
Yeah.
And then my next one, it was this Big Teddy, and it was called Big Teddy.
I like that. I like that. I definitely
Yeah.
have met that guy at a club before.
And then you'll like this. I got one that was another bear, but it was much smaller. And I called it Little Teddy.
Okay.
I hate your naming conventions.
Yeah, that sort of naming carried on for a long time until very recently, where I started actually giving real names to my plush
That's
toys.
not true.
What do you mean?
There was a bear in this room called Bearbut.
That's a name. That's a real name.
It's not.
He's not called Extra Big Bear, is he?
It's borderline the same.
What's his name?
Bearbut.
Bearbut?
That's
Yeah.
not a real name.
Like
Bearbut.
bear, like
Bear butt?
like Herbert, but the first syllable is bear.
Sounds like you're
Bearbut.
saying bear butt.
No, well I'm not, am I? That would be absurd. That would be ludicrous.
Yeah.
Okay, so stop being so childish.
I'm sorry. And when I think about it, I forgot to take my anti-silly goose medication today. So
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. I won't hold it against
shout
you.
out mental illness. Shout out mental illness.
I also
silly
have
goose syndrome affects millions.
I also have a very little bear upstairs. He's so very small, fits in the palm of your hand.
Is he called So Very Small Little Bear?
No. He's called John. And he's my favorite, and he's so very little.
Aw.
And he's called John because you know John West Tuna?
Yeah.
No, who is that?
The tuna, you know
Who's
the tuna?
John was tuna?
No, John West. You know the brand of tuna, John West?
No, I know Chicken of the Sea.
What are you you know John West Tuna?
I know John
I'm going
West
to pretend we
Tuna.
don't have a guest this week. Right? They did
Okay.
a thing where for some reason they were giving away little teddy bears with like their tinned salmon. I guess because bears eat salmon, right?
Yeah.
And he's just the littlest guy, so I called him John after his father.
And who? Well, I was gonna say who's his father, but that's a dumb question, isn't it?
Yeah, that would
Yeah. It's John West.
So there you go. I've got so many good names now. I have an alligator plush that is called Hugo because I wanted to name him after the designer brand that has an alligator for their logo.
Oh,
Lacoste.
Hugo
Lacoste.
West.
But I couldn't remember the name Lacoste.
So you going after Hugo Boss?
Yeah. Well, I just went to another designer brand because I was like, it'll be close enough.
You're such a fucking idiot.
No, there was thought involved. I couldn't remember Lacoste, so I was like, I'll just think of a different designer brand. And Hugo is such a good name for an
It
alligator.
is.
It is
a
good.
name,
It's such
to
a good
be
name.
fair.
You should get him a little vest and a magnifying glass so he can be a private investigator.
Why?
Or just a little suit so
So he can be
the
a private
Hugo Boss.
investigator.
Oh, investigator.
Investigator. I see.
Yeah.
It's cute, right?
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
is
cute.
We're cute. I ever had that written down. It's not my joke.
Oh.
Just thought if I got a chance to talk about alligators.
Have this one locked away.
Yeah, it wasn't a real joke. It was a crock of lies.
Uh,
Okay.
Expect this for the whole episode.
I have what do I have? I've got dinosaur plushies right now. That's what I mostly have. I've got the one you gave me.
Yeah.
Big it's kind of a big fuck off Brachiosaurus, really.
Yeah. I think it was listed as something that I told you when I bought you, and you were like, "That's not it at all. This is absurd. It's not even close."
Was it listed as a Brontosaurus or something? Or a Patasaurus? And I said that the hip to shoulder ratio was wrong.
Yeah. It was like you're like no, because if it was
that's probably exactly what it was.
It was
that is the
exactly
main
that.
thing that I talk about when it comes to sauropods.
Yeah.
That one's called Jelly.
We love jelly.
And then Dahlia gave me a really big theropod, squishmallow type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
And that one's called Rubber Ducky.
Oh.
So,
Does it resemble a rubber duck at all?
well, in the sense that they are both dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Okay.
Yeah, fair
Checks out. Yeah. So I don't know why that fact or like whiplashed me so hard. I was just so bemused by rubber ducky. They are both dinosaurs.
Yeah. No, it got me as well. I was sort of stun locked. I was like, damn.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing about birds. It's not simply that they are descended from dinosaurs.
Do you know what it is?
Zoologically, they are dinosaurs.
That whiplashed me is not the birds are dinosaurs fact. It's the fact that ducks are birds, because I forgot.
It's that rubber ducks are birds.
Rubber ducks are birds.
Rubber ducks are technically birds. Yeah. You just don't think of them as such.
No.
Think of them as silly little bath creatures. I think of them more as fish. Actually,
That's real.
Well, and we know that zoologically, there's no such thing as a fish.
Oh, true. That's a different podcast, though.
Yeah, different podcast, but a good one and a very fun fact.
Yeah.
I saw a thing today. I was scrolling through Instagram and said if you took all the tuna out of the sea and piled them all up into one big thing,
yeah, it would smell atrocious. Was that the fact?
They would all fucking die.
Yeah. I shouldn't have cut in. I shouldn't have stepped on your joke with my joke.
It was from another.
That was
podcast
joke on joke violence.
I'm not claiming that as my own, but
No,
it was
I
just
remember-
very funny.
Yeah, I did a little wheeze when I watched that yesterday when you sent me it. Very
So you are in the UK. Oh, we can't do too many visual gags. So you are in the UK.
I'm in the UK.
And I wanted to know what is the most apparent difference from the UK to the US, because we've not had a US guest so far. So what is that like most juxtaposed?
Well, so you
thing?
haven't. So I have been on NANICAST. Well, or no, I was on. What was I on? I was on the
You're on
quest
the
log.
quest
You were on the
log.
quest log.
Where am I?
You were still
What
in
is
the
this?
US.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so I haven't been on NANICAST yet. That's true. Most apparent difference. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna get into the fact that I can't seem to find spicy food anywhere because I know it's here. You're just hiding it.
It's here.
You're just hiding it from me.
You have an extremely high tolerance.
I don't think it's that high.
It's not even that it's a high tolerance. You just have a high appetite for spice. You are
true.
ravenous. Like I will provide you a Dairy Milk chocolate bar and like, do you have any chili flakes?
Well, actually, have you had dark chocolate chili flakes?
Yeah,
It's really
I
good.
hate it.
Oh, I think
spicy chocolate.
spicy chocolate
I've had
can
Tabasco
die. Oh,
chocolate.
okay.
I've had chili chocolate, and it just.
I think it's very good. Gosh. Well, one major difference is just how the houses are built.
For sure.
Because the houses tend to be very vertical here.
Yeah.
And it's to save space, obviously, because it's live in such a rinky-dink little island. But well, it is.
You didn't have to say that though.
It's a very nice island. I love this island, but
I
it's
nearly spat my radler.
quite small.
Well, also, there's just like, isn't it something to do with like the obviously weather conditions are a lot harsher, so having taller houses would be more dangerous because they're
that too.
easier
Yeah, we
to
have.
knock
I mean,
over.
so I live in Indiana, which is part of what's called Tornado Alley in the Midwest.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny to me to think of the fact that a lot of people have never seen a tornado in real life.
Yeah.
Because for me, I mean, my whole life, there's just some times of year where you go outside. If you go outside, you will see a tornado forming, and then you simply get inside and you hunker down and you just hope it doesn't hit your house.
It was a bit windy one time, and I saw a bin bag fly past the window.
So that's basically the same thing.
Do you ever get those trash tornadoes? Though?
Yeah,
Have you seen those?
with the leaves.
Well, it's nothing
actually.
actually like a real tornado, but it'll be windy and like the wind will just
Little
catch
dust
that little
devils.
I love
swirl.
it.
Yeah.
It's
So like,
exciting.
but you'll just get like a bunch of like crisp packets
Yeah.
flying in a circle. You're like, ooh, get down. That's about the closest.
Yeah,
you get
so
in the UK.
that's about the same thing.
I mean, it has picked up here before. Like, there's been like our fence has come down a couple of times when we first moved here. Like, the bin's been over the road.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's been some tragedies.
I will say another. Well, I noticed all the flags were at half mast when the recycling bin was tipped over. It's a tragedy.
It's
Weird
pretty
they
bad.
had them up the whole week of the Queen's death, but the second that the trash. Well, what's the difference between the Queen's death and a trash can falling over? Nothing.
What? Is there an extra layer here I'm missing?
both equally
They're both garbage.
Tough.
Tough.
So, no tornadoes is the most apparent difference.
Yeah.
That's a difference. Yeah, another thing is that it's like, I don't know if this is everywhere, but everywhere I've been in England, which is up and down a fair amount, including my last trip, is like it's places like neighborhoods seem to be a lot quieter.
Yeah.
There's just not like, I don't know, there's just like a lot of noise. I'm used to just like people yelling, dogs barking. I'm sure the dogs here still bark, but
Yeah, there's a couple of barking dogs. So
Yeah.
we
don't really hear
of them. But yeah, it's fairly quiet around here. I mean, I grew up in a village, so I've kind of known quietness all my life. We didn't even have neighbors really. Like our house was on a corner, so it was like we only had backdoor neighbors, so we never had anyone to the side, and there was like a marsh to our side as well, and then just a road.
yeah.
So
Also, I have not heard a gunshot since I've been here,
yeah,
You won't.
no,
and that's nice actually.
Yeah.
yeah, that is unlikely
yeah.
to happen.
You do. I have heard
sirens.
sirens go back.
Sirens,
but-
yeah.
Because
especially-
there's a hospital like 15
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
down the road.
and we're,
so-
we're quite close to a main road, so you'll hear like the emergency services. You'll
Yeah.
hear cars during the day. But otherwise, yeah, it's
It's nice.
I do know what you mean. It is
Yeah.
quieter generally.
Oh, the other
Also-
thing is that everything is so walkable. That's what I love.
Yes.
That's what I really love.
I was going to say double glazed windows.
Do they not have those?
No, it's single in the US mostly.
Really?
That's why they break so easily. That's why
Mm.
like a common trope of movies is like, oh, the kid broke the window with a baseball. It just
Yeah.
goes straight fucking through. Wouldn't it? It just bounce off. Probably, knock it up a bit, but bounce off.
Yeah. That and also I think it keeps the sound out better a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's-
Heat
it's-
and sound.
Because most places in America are way hotter, way more humid. To have double glazed windows, you'd create an oven.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
our houses are not built to keep heat in,
No.
so we have to
See.
crank the heat. But
Yeah.
also we like crank the heat, and we tend to have AC, which is a
Yeah.
commonly
Yeah.
known thing. But yeah, the houses in the US are just like, I don't know.
And they're made of wood.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of old houses. Our houses
Yeah.
tend to be very flimsy, and we just tend to regulate everything by blasting hot or cold air into our homes.
Which seems counterintuitive to the tornado thing. Like, why would you not build more robust houses?
Yeah. Well, so I know this one guy. His house is built out of straw, and then our house is built out of sticks, which I think is pretty good. There's an absolute crackpot down the street who's building a house out of bricks, but
Well, it just makes sense, right? Because every few weeks in your little alley, your little tornado alley,
Yeah.
a big bad wolf comes and threatens to blow everyone's house down.
and you're like, he probably won't, and that's what you bank on. I was saying this before. I feel that like the way people live in the U.S. is like we don't live with safety or security. We do not build things that are meant to provide either of those. We do not build infrastructures that are or societies that are meant to provide either of those things. We simply just hope that nothing bad happens, and then when it does, we complain about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why insurance companies do so well, though. Because you just don't really protect against anything. You just get insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than putting in the stuff to
instead of
preventative measures.
No preventative measures, just compensation.
Exactly,
Which
100%.
I guess is not a great way. It's not a great way. to
No,
live.
it's
Not
a
ideal.
nightmare.
Yeah. So, well. God bless America.
You got any more jokes?
No, but speaking of America, I don't think Mark has told you specifically, and definitely not the audience, but I really want it to be said, about your little journey that you made to the States.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, because you
My
were over there in
fucking-
January for MagFest, which looked very fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to tell us a little bit about
So
MagFest.
I traveled over to DC and hung out in Virginia for a while, and even visited New York. A few weeks ago, I was at MagFest. I watched the NPC Collective perform, and I was on stage with Rustage. It was great fun. Way Over was fine. The trip was brilliant. I hung out with like a bunch of friends like for like a week and a half. It was great. Okay. And then we traveled to New York, and from traveling to New York onwards, the trip was a fucking nightmare.
Oh no.
Okay.
Do you mean like a real nightmare or like a what a nightmare?
Oh no,
Like a real nightmare.
nightmare.
I know
Okay.
I have this habit of describing any small inconvenience as a nightmare, but no, this was terrible. Okay, let me. So we start with there was me,
Yeah.
Wolfboy, Maguire, and Asterisk. We're
Great
traveling
crew.
Great crew. Traveling to New York to watch Cam Steady perform.
Yeah.
It was a 6-hour drive, which wasn't great anywhere, but I was
No.
like, fuck it, right? Road trip with the homies. Okay, so we set off, and on the way to New York, we realize we're going to arrive too late to check into our hotel. Uh-oh. Let's phone up Cam Steady, who's already there, and get him to check into our hotel for us. An hour passes after we send him that message. He gets to the hotel, he phones us. Hey guys, I'm at the hotel. You might want to hear this. And he passes us on to the receptionist, who says, we can't check you in because there are no rooms in the hotel. I'm like, what do you mean? We have a booking, a reservation for a room. Yeah.
And
So he's just like, you'll have to phone booking.com and get them to refund it. I was like, okay,
Incredible.
thank you.
oh my god.
So we do that, we get the refund, and then we're like, where the fuck are we going to stay?
Mm.
And Cam's like, oh, I think the hotel we're staying at does have some vacancies. It'll be a little more expensive though. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll just do it. There doesn't look like there's many options. So I give my phone to Maguire with all the details, and he's like, I'll book it. I was like, okay, cool. I'm tired. I'm laying back in the car for a bit. Anyway, a little after he goes, okay, I've booked us a double room, double queen beds in this hotel that Cam's staying at. And he's going to check in for us because we're not going to get there in time. Easy peasy. Cam checks in for us. He uses his card. We forgot to pay on the phone, so he has to pay for us. Whoopsie. Sorry, Cam, I'll pay you back. Anyway, all good, all sorted. We're like, okay, all good. Finally, okay, the hotel sorted. That was nearly a disaster, but we're fine. We get to New York. It's take a little bit of time finding somewhere to park because where the fuck do you park in New York? What the hell?
Yeah, nobody drives in New York. There's too much traffic.
Exactly, right? But Wolfboy finds somewhere. We pull over. We get to the hotel. We're like, okay, we've checked in earlier. She's like, oh yeah, here's your key cards. They just kept in the reception for us. Oh, they're brilliant. This is great. Get up to our room. Open the door. There is one bed,
Oh no.
and there is 4 of us.
Okay.
So I'm like, Maguire.
Maguire.
I thought that I don't know why he's British. I thought that I booked a double room.
This is
And I was
Mac
like,
Guire.
This is
This is Mac Guire.
Maguire.
This is Macintosh.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
but so we go back to the reception. We're like, any chance you could book us into a double? They're like, we don't have any rooms left. Like, can we book another single? We don't have any rooms left.
Oh,
Fuck. Okay, fine. We'll make it work. We're only here 2 nights. 2 of us are
So when
sleeping on
Cam
the floor.
said they have vacancies, they had vacancies.
They had vacancy. So it was like, fine, we'll sleep on the floor. We go to bed because it's very late. I'm sleeping on the floor. It's not too bad. You know, it's comfortable enough. There's a spare pillow.
Okay.
Okay. Wake up
You're
the next
curled.
day.
Okay, you can curl up on a pillow comfortably, I think.
Yeah, I'm just a little guy.
Like a
so
small cat.
yes, I perched upon a pillow.
Yeah.
And the next morning, we're all texting and we're like, okay, we'll meet up at the Starbucks outside to get breakfast. And the elevator comes down to the 3rd floor where we are, and they're all there. It's like it's Slick, it's Mir, it's Cam, it's like
The
Diggs,
gang's all there.
Hastic. The gang's all there. So we're all piling into this. We're like, oh yo, dapping each other up as we get in. I get in, Maguire gets in, Asterisk gets in, and as Wolfboy steps on the elevator, it begins descending. Doors open, we can see the floors going past. We're just like, this doesn't seem right.
No.
So I thought we did quite well. There was 8 of us in an elevator,
Yeah.
and not a single person panicked outwardly. It was
Okay.
quite fun. We were all just like, huh,
This is
Is this okay? About halfway down, because it wasn't it wasn't dropping, right?
Yeah.
It was moving a lot faster than an elevator should.
Uh-huh.
But about halfway down, 2 levels have gone past, and the door's closed. We're like, oh, at least we can't see it. But we hit the bottom in the basement, and there's like springs or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So we hit it pretty hard.
So you boing back up.
all the way back up. We hit the bottom. We're like, okay, we made it. We're okay.
Yeah.
We nearly fell over. It's fine. The doors get pried open by someone from reception. The floor's about halfway up. You have to climb out. And as we
How
climb
long
out,
did this take? How long were you down there?
only like 10 minutes to their credit.
Okay.
Like we pressed the call button. They were like,
So
we'll get
you
someone
weren't you weren't fully like banana fished in an elevator, going up and down, getting on
No,
top.
no.
Yeah.
No, we hit the springs and stopped.
Okay.
We just nearly fell over. We were like, fine. They pry the doors open. We get out. They pull us out. We're clambering out. And the maintenance guy is pulling us out. Goes, sorry about this, guys. I thought I fixed this yesterday. This is a persistent problem.
After the last batch.
Yeah, right. I was like, Cam Steady's in this elevator. Do you not know who he is?
Well, my thing with that is just I always think like you were on the 16th floor. Like,
Yeah.
Can you imagine
if it dropped
from
from
there?
Cam's level?
How fast was it? Was it free falling? What was it?
It wasn't
doing?
free falling. I think like
Okay.
the counterweight system or whatever was still in effect.
Yeah.
It was just going faster than an elevator should.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there's
But
that.
I mean, it could have easily like snapped or like.
I don't know if it was going to pick up speed. Like if it was
Yeah.
dropping from the 16th floor and it just was picking up speed.
Yeah.
Did anyone try that thing that people always talk about? Where like, oh, if I'm ever in an elevator and it starts falling, I'm gonna jump right
Yeah,
before it gets
people
to the bottom.
mentioned that.
Nobody tried it.
Nobody tried it.
So disappointed.
It wouldn't. That just wouldn't.
Any
do anything
shot-
I think
with
they
it.
checked it on Mythbusters.
Any
and it
shot,
just-
if I go to that hotel, they still won't have fixed it because they thought they would have fixed it.
Maybe
That's
you want
on-
to try it out?
I know it's not. I know it doesn't work. I just want to try it.
Yeah,
We've had terrible luck with elevators at events.
yeah.
I've noticed.
Like
there was
Momocon
the
as well.
Momocon one where it just wasn't working and we had to climb
Yeah.
up 58 flights of
Yeah.
stairs.
Oh yes.
Your one where you nearly plummeted to your death.
Mhm.
Like they've just not been kind to us.
It's not been great, and I've always been scared of elevators, so it doesn't help.
Mm.
But anyway,
Elevators. What a letdown.
oh, very good.
Very good.
I'm just pushing all your buttons.
So we go to the event anyway.
Okay.
Later, we watch Cam perform. It's very cool. I'm on stage being a hype man. Very exciting. All that wraps up. Back to Virginia. Last day with the friends, and then I go to DC to fly out. So they drop me off and they're like, "Bye. Do you want us to stay just in case?" I was like, "No. Like, what do you mean just in case? It's fine. I'll just get through security and then fly."
Just in case, what could happen?
What could possibly go wrong? Well, let me tell you.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen? Let's find out. So I make it
Song's
through
about.
security, and that was all fine and dandy. And I get to my gate, and everything says delayed. I'm like, oh, great. I have a layover. I don't want to miss my layover. It's only like a 2-hour layover. It's very good. It's going to be very easy to miss if this is delayed. And as the time goes on, the delay gets just larger and larger and larger until the point where I'm like, it's physically now impossible for me to make my second flight. So I say to the person at the desk, hey, I'm not going to be able to make my second flight. Is there any chance of putting me on an earlier flight to Boston? And he was like, there is an earlier flight. It's leaving in 10 minutes. We can get you on there. I was like, oh, you
Oh.
fucking legend.
Fantastic.
Alright.
And then everything was fine.
And then everything was fine for about 10 minutes. So I get in the queue. They're loading on. They're like, we don't have a seat number for you, obviously, because you haven't booked. So just wait until it's fully filed in, and then we'll tell you where to sit. And you'll be the last aboard. I was like, cool. So they fully file it in. And then they say, well, there are no seats left. So you can't get on this flight. I'm like, okay. I was like, can I? Now, there's some issues now because my bag has been loaded onto that flight because they thought I would be flying on it. And I have a new boarding pass and I'm no longer on that other flight. And he was like, But he goes to me, this guy, he's like, don't worry. Full confidence. I'll take your bag off that flight. It'll be in baggage services for you. And we'll rebook your entire trip for tomorrow so that you're not late for your second flight. And you can just do the full trip tomorrow when the weather's clear.
All sorted.
I'm like, okay, decent. I'm like, is there anywhere I can stay tonight? He's like, no. Okay. So just go out, go to baggage services, collect your suitcase, find a hotel or something for the night. And I'm like, okay, one hotel for one night. It won't be too bad. At least the damage is just, however much for a hotel room.
Monetary.
I cannot fathom that they didn't pay for your hotel. That when it was their error.
Because it wasn't their error, because it was the weather that stopped them. And that is an act of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But why isn't God paying for it?
Yeah.
Why isn't he dipping into his fucking pockets for once?
He's the one with his name on the money. Come on. For any non-Americans, our bills say, "In God we trust."
In God we trust to fuck things up.
We sure do.
So I make it down to luggage service. I'm like, hey, my flight's been rescheduled to tomorrow. Can I get my bag? She goes, this bag, this luggage, the luggage that you give me is not here. Where is it?
It's in that elevator.
She goes, I don't know. I'm like, okay. She goes, I'm going to make some phone calls. It might have been loaded onto Boston. We'll see if it's there. Come tomorrow. I'll call you in the morning if it's there. I'm like, okay.
I can't imagine sleeping knowing that knowledge. That
So
it's just in ether.
No.
I went to the hotel. It was a fucking really nice hotel, by the way.
Yeah.
Hilton Doubletree. They give me free cookies when I got there and free water, like bottles and stuff. And I was like, oh, thank you. So that was nice.
Mhm.
So I had a very good night's sleep. And the next morning I wake up. I'm like, no phone call. Okay. I go to the airport. I go to luggage service. I'm like, do you know where my bag is? She was like, it was in Boston.
Was?
I was like,
Past tense.
when? She was like, it was loaded onto a flight for Heathrow, but never arrived. Where did it go? Presumably with the rest of the passengers. Are they okay?
You ever heard
How
of
many died?
the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah. I was like, is it just in there? Swimming? She was like, you'll have to check in Boston because it's definitely not here. So take your flight. I was
They threw it into the harbor.
like, okay. Yeah. They noticed it was British. And they were just like, fucking get in there. Tea Party 2. So anyway, the flight to Boston goes absolutely fine. But then I get there and I get to the gate and I'm like, any chance of knowing where my baggage is? And she goes, you'll have to check at luggage services. I'm like, where's luggage services? She's like, outside. I'm like, so I need to go out of the gate and back through security. She was like, yes. I was like, there is 40 minutes left before boarding.
God.
So I run out, go to luggage services. They look at my shit and they're like, oh, yes, I'll just type this in the system. It should be in Heathrow. Is it? No. Okay.
Dog.
Why does nobody know where it is? So I was just, at this point, I'd sort of like consign myself to just losing it. I was like, I'll just have to see if I can claim something. Like,
I'm just going to say right now,
Yeah.
if you had a bomb in that bag, they're fucked.
Well, it wouldn't, if I had a bomb in the bag, it wouldn't have got loaded onto a
But they
flight.
just don't know where it is. I don't know. What if you concealed it very well?
What
Then they'd be
conversation
fucked
is
anyway. What do
What
you mean?
conversation are we having right now?
I'm just
Do you
saying.
just want to bring a bomb on a plane? Are you trying to figure it out?
through the
That is not-
hypotheticals?
that is not something that I wish to do.
I noticed you haven't been to America in a while.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that they should have a little bit more urgency
Yeah.
in terms of a lost bag that no one knows where it is.
But she says to me, it was scanned into a flight for Heathrow, so it should still be in the baggage bin, and it just wasn't loaded onto the flight. Because you weren't there. I was like,
yeah.
okay. A lot of maybes, a lot of if, buts, and maybes.
Mhm.
So I make it to the gate, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, whatever. We'll see. I'm waiting there, and they start boarding. They're like, would our... What do they say? They're like, veterans and disabled customers
Yeah.
can now priority board. And calling Mark Nichols. I was like, me? I'm neither of those, but what do you want? So I get to the desk, and she slides me a note, right?
Ooh.
She's like, we received your name. I was like, fuck, what? Like, on a list? Like, what? No, your bag has been boarded. I was like, yes! You're a hero! So my bag was boarded. I finally got on and travelled all the way to Heathrow, and then it was fine.
Good.
But up until then, it was just so fucking stressful, dude.
Yeah.
From the start of the New York trip to actually getting on the flight to Heathrow, I was just in pieces. 4 days of hell.
Nuts.
Mad.
Well, because when I got here last week, my bag didn't show up either.
Yeah.
Yours had to be delivered here.
Had to be delivered here a day late.
Was it everyone
$1
from your
short.
flight just didn't get their bag until the day
Just me.
after? Just you?
Just me and like 2 other people.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Wow. Can
Yeah.
you also tell the bit of when you were asleep on the plane?
So on my flight, I think it was the flight to Heathrow, I'd fallen asleep. And when I fall asleep on a flight, I have a neck pillow that's really nice. I have eye mask on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had these earplugs in, and I had a mask on.
Luxury.
I was just like coated head to toe, right? I was in
Yeah.
my cocoon and the blanket that they provide
Swaddled.
you. But only a short while after falling asleep, I'd woken myself up. Because I do this sometimes, where I make noises in my sleep. And sometimes I make them loud enough that they wake me up. So I went, ah! And woke myself up. Now, this noise did include a short movement that I'm sure people in the video can see, kind of like this. And then I was sat there in my cocoon, mask, like a sleeping mask on, deaf to the world, blind to the world. And I'm just like, at this moment in time, several people could be staring at me because I just made a sound. I'm just going to pretend I'm still asleep. So I just sat there for maybe half an hour, completely awake, wide awake. Just so fucking embarrassed. Yeah.
You do like some strange sounds. You have this like tendency to just have a really strange like thought process the second you wake up to where you just do a thing for some reason. I don't know why. It's just all inhibitions just leave your head, and then you suddenly come to, like when we were at the MCM hotel and you thought there was someone at the end of the bed.
Do you just have sleep paralysis?
No. So we shared a hotel room at MCM London, and we obviously shared. We wanted 2 single beds, but it ended up being a double bed because you know that happens. It definitely wasn't on purpose.
No, keep speaking.
Yeah.
So obviously we're sharing this bed, and at some point in the night, my foot touches your leg.
Yeah.
And your rational response to the person you are currently in bed with touching your leg is, there's someone that's broken into the hotel room and is touching my leg.
Fully convinced that there was an intruder. I could sense that someone was stood at the bottom of the bed and they just touched my foot. Okay.
And in this like 5-second period of you realizing that someone is touching your leg, your initial response is to yourself thinking, I know what I'll do. I'll get my torch on my phone, turn it on, and go, ah! like, I got you.
I secretly turn my torch on under the cover and go, ah. And of course there was nothing there.
There's nothing there.
But if there was, what would I have looked like?
What was that going to do? They would have got him and then ran off, scurried off like a fucking cartoon.
Oh my god! Imagine you shine the light on them. They would have been They would have been. They would have been out of there.
Gone. Oh my goodness!
Just that really. I mean, I was dead to the world throughout that entire thing. But
you just didn't wake up.
I wish I wasn't. I wish I had woke up for that.
Enough about me.
Yeah,
I've got some questions for Freeced from the Shwabadi Discord server.
Oh, okay.
Which is in my link
Hello,
tree. And
Shwabadi Discord server.
I think it's linked in the description, maybe. But there is a NANICAST channel. You can get the NANICAST role if you ask for it, and I will ping you whenever I have questions. If you guys want to ask questions to the people on the show, or just know more about the show. So we have several questions.
Okay.
Several of these aren't questions; they're just statements. Okay. But I will word them as if they're questions.
All right, okay.
So people want to know what the origin of the name Freeced is, and I know you've talked about this before, I think, on your own podcast.
Sure.
But who the fuck listens to that, right?
Right.
Damn.
I mean, genuinely, I haven't done it in like a year, so
I missed the Breakfast Club.
I did miss it. I was a double guest. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, double, at least double, yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
People do
Very
keep
fun.
asking when it'll come back. I kind of want to bring it back just because the mugs are so good.
Right?
And I can't really sell the mugs if I'm not doing the show,
Yeah.
so we'll see. Season 2, maybe. We'll see.
But anyway, Origins of Freeced.
Origins of Freeced, yeah. Yeah, pretty simple. I'll keep it short. Like my old my old artist name, my old channel, had the word freest in it.
Yeah.
Which is just spelled Freest. It's a real word, but nobody uses it anymore.
Yeah.
So people would look at it.
Freest soul.
Yeah, it means like the most free. Freest. The most
Not to be confused with free soul.
Right. Not to be further confused with free soul, as many people do. Yeah, anyway, but people wouldn't know how to pronounce it, and they pronounce it Freeced.
Yeah.
And then what my friends started doing was they started spelling it how it's spelled now, Freecd, as a joke.
Yeah.
As if that were correct, and they would call me that.
And so you just made it correct.
Yeah. So when I started my new channel, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to rebrand, kind of want to start over, do strictly nerdcore.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I was like, I'll just be Freeced. So
Pretty good.
That's where that came from.
And it joins the legion of names within our community that are persistently mispronounced and
Yes.
misspelled.
And it's
Well,
funny
actually-
because it was specifically spelled that way to be phonetic.
Yeah, which is hilarious. But
Yeah.
actually, does your name get misspelled a lot or just mispronounced?
Well, okay. It gets misspelled. Usually people can't get the number of E's right, but I don't think that my Twitch presence is helping that.
No.
Yeah, no. Freeced with 6 E's?
6 E's in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
FREEEEECED on Twitch TV. Did I do FREEEEECED on Twitch TV? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's nice that you have a fun
Yeah.
jingle.
Ours are terrible for mispronouncing.
Yeah.
Well, mine's not for mispronouncing. Mine is misspelling.
Misspelling.
mostly,
Oh,
I
because
get,
there is a...
I get one end.
Yeah.
I get ER'd. I get all of them.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. I actually had Conar once.
Conar?
Yeah, with an A.
Con Air.
That was difficult
That's
times.
yeah.
You,
Something
I mean,
completely
you've done a
different.
whole song about your...
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a whole song about my name, but now it's a lot of people don't mispronounce my name. They
No.
put stress in different places, which I don't consider a mispronunciation anymore. If it's Shwabadi or Shwabadi, I don't care.
Yeah.
But as long as they get all the syllables,
I called you Shwabadi for years.
yeah, and that's fine now. I don't mind that. It's just the misspellings. They're getting
Yeah.
a little bit absurd at this point. But
I think some of them are on purpose. My favorite recently is T.Y. Wild.
T.Y. Wild,
Yeah.
T.Y. Wild.
T.Y.
Oh, yeah,
Wild.
like T.Y. Hilton. It's just
T.Y.
like
Wild.
T.Y.
Ham Switch,
Ham Switch.
Ham Switch.
That was the same video.
the same
It's
video,
good.
and the same guy in that video called Kiyosio. But that one's
I've done
common.
that
Yeah,
many
I think we've
times,
all.
yeah.
I think we've all CO'd.
Sure.
But yeah, I love the names. Some of the names in our community.
Mm-hmm.
So separate.
Okay.
This is not a question. Stargirl, bless her, has just went on like a little paragraph rant about how much she likes your voice for specifically electro swing.
Oh.
And I wanted to
Like
turn
singing
that into,
or rapping? You saying?
she just said
just in
voice.
general?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
okay.
guess both.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take
She
it.
described it as a literal crime that you don't have more electro swing
Oh,
songs.
I have two.
Yeah.
That's more than most people have.
That is more. That's more.
But
Than
if,
me.
if you don't mostly do electro swing, I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, but I just wanted to turn that into a question about sort of genre in general.
Yeah.
Genre in general is a fun phrase to say.
Genre and genre.
Genre in
In
genre.
general.
Yeah, genre in general.
In general.
Yeah.
About like your favorite genres to create music in. I was wondering like, what do you think you're best at, and what is your favorite?
And those really are two different questions.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
like my favorite is like, I don't know. Well, honestly, my favorite just changes all the time. But there's like my favorite, if I could do it, would probably be a lot more like, I'd want to do a lot more like aggressive, like loud stuff, and faster stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but like my voice just doesn't do that.
Okay.
And it just, my voice just wears out so quickly, and I can't really talk very quickly. So yeah, it just doesn't, isn't really conducive to that. I think my best genre is probably something like either like kind of poppy, disco-y, funky songs like like Pretty Boys,
Mm-hmm.
and like and like Angel Devil on My Shoulder. I think songs like that are some of my best, where it's more lyrical. I would say my best writing is not in rap. I'm still working on my like rap writing.
Yeah.
If we're just talking about rap, I think my best stuff is probably like lo-fi, just because I can get a bit more like sentimental with the lyrics. I'd say in general my best writing is like sentimental.
Okay.
I think people tend to I've come to expect more like bars from me. Just because I kind of focused on that a lot early on, and I'm just like, I enjoy coming up with bars all the time, just because they're just little jokes that you can rap.
Yeah.
It's definitely something a few of us have like set as like a standard. Like me especially. I've definitely set that standard as the bar guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I've also sort of acquired this title where I didn't think I was. I thought I was like, the guy who switches up his voice a lot and does like fun sound things.
I think it literally might just be the amount of like gun bars.
I think I think one thing is like
obscene amount.
I think part of it is you've simply just become a very well-rounded artist.
Yeah.
And there were things like, I feel like a few years ago that you were a lot stronger in.
Yeah.
I feel like your delivery was a lot stronger than like in comparison to your other things. Like your writing was weaker then. But like now I think you've just been like going so hard at doing so many things that like I don't know. I think you're just like a very well-rounded artist who's good at a lot of things, and so people will focus on the things that they.
I mean, it's
really
like it's like with Daniel as well. Like he has very much leaned into bars, like,
punchlines,
and also punchlines especially, and also like really focusing on his rhyming recently as well. Like his like I fundamentally believe he is like. And this isn't to sound like big-headed, but like very much on like my level of rhyming now. To which I felt like there was like as a songwriter, he was way stronger than me, and as a writer, I was stronger than him. That doesn't make sense. As like a rhyme.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. No, I get what you mean.
As a song structurally, he was way better than me. But now I feel like him kind of like encroaching, and I'm like, get away.
Yeah. He's now a rapper who can make good music or whatever he said.
Yeah.
He can rap and he makes good music.
But yeah, I would say like things I'd like to do more of, if that's part of the question, is I'd like to do more sort of funky electro swing or just like that kind of crunchy, funky, earwormy like type of music you normally associate with horror games. Okay. I like that stuff. I know you don't like it as much, but I
probably
really
don't
like
listen to it to be honest. It's like crunchy, funky earworm horror music.
Probably like it's pretty niche. It's like, what does it sound like? It's like a Spinal Tap quote.
Catfishes have had a really good album in it recently.
This is just you're taking a jab at me now, because that's exactly the type of band name that's in my playlist.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. My favorite type of stuff that you do tends to be like, I know this is slightly older, but like your track that you did with Connor. And, well, the whole Bars of Tale Sing Say kind of era stuff. I love that kind of like the highly thematic,
in universe sort of thing. I mean, I've always loved the sort of like where you take genuine aspects of a show and of a dynamic, and you really accentuate them in such a good musical form. Not to the point where it's like, you know, cringy or like things like that. And there's just such a level, because there's a level where you can do that and it be kind of where you focus a little bit too much on trying to relate it. But there's just like when you take the right aspects, like taking the fucking water and making that into like a Foley sort of percussion element, and just the chanting and it just works so well. It felt like a song that would be in Avatar: The Last Airbender the musical.
Like
that's what it felt.
100%, that's
like.
true.
Take that.
But without feeling like musical theater.
Without feeling like musical
I don't
theater.
get along with musical theater type music.
Whereas I do. I love it.
That type of stuff. I would never say that stuff is bad. I just it's not for me. Because there's a lot of very talented artists that do that kind of thing.
It's fun. Like, first of all, I not just in an ego way, but I really enjoy hearing what people like about my music, because I think that informs what I should make. Yeah, it's funny. I think one of the reasons that I tend to go so hard into capturing more of the vibe of a character or a universe, rather than kind of strictly just barring out and making references. I don't do a ton of references. It's simply because I don't remember shit. Like I'll watch something, I'll really be into it, but what I remember is like, oh, I remember how this character felt and how important a certain moment was to them. I feel like that's how I approach pretty much all my haiku songs. I've probably written more haiku songs than I might have written more haiku songs than any other nerdcore artist, maybe. There's a good shot.
I think probably safely.
Absolutely.
I've written, I mean, not including features, I've done like eight or nine, I think.
Oh yeah. Clear as any other artist, I think.
And then including features, like it's over a dozen.
That sort of method was something in my early career I focused a hell of a lot on, especially doing games as well.
Yeah.
Because back when it was games, it was like they're so different because you can do 6 characters from the same show and them all sound pretty similar.
Right,
but when you're doing separate games, like you're doing fucking Kirby one week and Fallout 4 the next, like really capturing the essence of what those are in a song is the whole point. You know, and that was definitely something that I was a big focus on. That's sort of lost now a bit. I think across the board,
because there was a lot of people doing that didn't quite hit it right, and it just came across as a bit cringy, and it wasn't like musically engaging, right?
No.
It was content that had no replayability, and people started focusing more on like, how do I create music that just sounds good? And you can do both.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Oh,
more
absolutely.
difficult.
Yeah,
So-
I think with the skill set that a lot of people have now, I think going back to doing that,
Yeah.
I think they'd have so much more success
for
and they'd be
sure.
able to create such better products.
Yeah.
But there was like sort of a product of infancy that was kind of the result of things not being as good as they could be back then. But it was all
Yeah.
growing and learning, and it kind of it set a lot of people up. Because some people didn't care that it wasn't good. They just
Yeah.
they just liked that there was a song about their favorite thing.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
and the people enjoy that, and people still enjoy that.
I think a thing that's really important to me is not just going for the most obvious way to capture the vibe. Because I think, for instance, stuff like doing music for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
I know that like if I do a Chainsaw Man song, I've done what? I guess not including the cipher, I've done 2. The Chainsaw Man cipher, the beat for that is just you think Chainsaw Man, that's a Chainsaw Man type beat.
Yeah, that's a Chainsaw Man type beat for sure.
But then like with Power Gets Sturdy, I was like, I wanted to capture the character more, and even that one is a bit more. It's a bit more Chainsaw Man-y, just in the way that it's kind of aggressive, kind of braggy. It feels like Power. But then a song like Angel Devil on My Shoulder, those are the kinds of songs I think I enjoy writing the most because they capture something that's in the character that is more representative of the character than the series.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not going to get a lot of you'll get like art that's like this, but you won't get a lot of Chainsaw Man songs that are that soft.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
And I really love finding like the soft or kind of contemplative or like human or melancholy elements of something and making those the focus. I think I did the same thing with Perfect Fit, which is my Dress Up Darling song.
Yeah.
Where like everyone was doing these horny Dress Up Darling songs because that's kind of the obvious thing to do. And there's some bangers, but like when I watched that show, the thing I really like about it is it's just about nerds like finding their culture and like finding people who aren't afraid to be themselves.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's what I want to write a song about. And so like the music reflects that. So I really like matching the theme, but like matching the part that really got me hooked on it.
I feel that I've done that kind of thing before because like it is very easy when you're making a song themed about a character or a show to grasp at the most obvious parts of that aesthetic and emulate it. But I've done it less often I think than you. But occasionally where it's like it's not the show generally the vibes, it's like a specific aspect of it that you really resonated with you. That you wanted to extrapolate and expand upon.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think of an
agree.
example.
An example I think would probably be my Derby track.
Right,
For me, is like taking the sort of main backstory of the character in its sort of pain and the real kind of heart tug moments rather than I'm Derby, fire, flame, bang, bang.
Focusing on the sorrow instead of the anger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is kind of more what the character is about when you really look at it in the show. Like all the times he appears, it's like, there's fight scenes, but who is this character really?
Yeah.
Right. I suppose I sort of did it with my cyberpunk song where I focused on like the less flashy aspects of living somewhere like Night City and living that kind of lifestyle.
I think what really speaks to me the most in my songs that I end up enjoying the most over time is thinking about and capturing characters in their most vulnerable moments. That's definitely what I did with my Zenitsu song. Like taking this character that's either badass or pathetic, and writing a song about him being pathetic.
For sure. Yeah.
And then like Tanjiro's Lullaby, like that's just what that is. Like there's not much needs to be said about that. But yeah, I think that's why I really connect with shows and with things that have kind of peaks and lows in terms of like emotion, where you can have these really badass, awesome things happening, and then also these really like vulnerable, intimate moments, which is why I think Arcane is such a good source and why there's so many good songs.
For sure.
Yeah.
Arcane was, when that came out, the amount of music that came from people like drawing inspiration from that show was so crazy.
Yeah.
Because so many people did so many different aspects of it,
Yeah.
which I just adored. I just loved it.
Same with
Yeah.
Cyberpunk as well.
Yeah.
It hit
For
the
sure.
same note because
Yeah.
we did that reaction to like 6 Cyberpunk songs, and they were all different
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah.
Different
Like,
vibes, different genres,
Divide had the
different
synth
focus.
wave, you
Yeah.
had the big heavy metal rock, you had the classic hip hop, you had the sort of, experimental stuff that
Yeah.
DPS did. Like,
Mhm.
it was crazy. And then ours are also both completely different to
yeah.
any of what those guys did. And I think I'm looking forward to more sort of shows that bridge that. It's 2 shows that bridge the gap between gaming and anime that have produced
Yeah.
the best music
Yeah.
in our scene.
That's
And
true.
I'm just kind of waiting for the next one that's going to be, whether it's Arcane season 2 or
I got onto the Arcane train pretty late, so
Yeah.
I only ended up doing the one song about the
Mhm.
series, and it was a little after most people else has come out. When
Yeah.
Arcane season 2 hits, I'm ready
On
for it
that
this
shit,
time.
Oh,
yeah.
same.
And I'm
Yeah.
I've got songs to make.
Yeah.
I just right. Arcane, I'm hoping it follows the same general area and location and follows on from the previous events, just because I have songs I want to make about the characters from the first series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be more interesting if it just went to a completely different section of League lore,
Uh-huh.
and it just took us to
Listen,
somewhere else.
I want to see
It-
Bilgewater.
Yeah, I would like to see Bilgewater.
Bilgewater's good. I mean, there's so many places in the League lore.
You know
that
where
it
I
could
want to go.
You want to
Freljord?
go to
Where?
Well, Freljord would be cool, actually.
Freljord. I
For
think
Volibear,
I
mostly.
think it will be Freljord that they're going to focus on next, just because I can see the storyline already. But you want to go to Bandle City?
Bandle City? No, that's not what I was thinking of.
Yordles. Oh.
The Yordles? I do like Yordles.
Where do you want to go?
We just keep being right, and you're just rethinking
Yeah,
where you
wait,
actually
no, you're
want to go.
right.
Where do you want to go? Shurima?
I want to go to Shurima, yeah.
Oh, because of the sand people.
I just really want to hold Renekton in my hands.
Okay, no,
yeah.
that was completely not Nasus.
Both, but I don't know, there's just something about Renekton, you know what I mean?
Is it Hugo?
It's not Hugo!
It reminds you of
It
Hugo.
does not remind me of Hugo!
Slight technical difficulties, but we are back.
Yeah, so viewers, that should be seamless for you,
Yeah.
and nothing at all happened. The laptop didn't die mid-recording.
No.
But
All is
anyway,
well.
we were talking about Arcane and
Yeah.
how Renekton reminds you of your cuddly plushie.
Okay. He doesn't. Carry on.
So Shurima, you want to go to? I mean,
Yeah.
there's Shurima. There's a great storyline there. There's Demacia versus Noxus, which is classic, and there's a lot of Demacia lore as well between the characters, like Garen, Lux, Silas. Like, there's a
Gavin.
great story there.
I've called him Gavin this entire time because first time, like, I've only played League a couple times
Yeah.
because I have respect for myself.
Uh,
That's not true. I just
Yeah.
didn't get that into it.
Not true. You play Overwatch.
Yeah, I do play Overwatch, so I clearly have no self-respect. But the first time that I was playing, he like beat me so soundly, and I was just like, Gavin. I just call him Gavin ever since. It just seems like the kind of thing a Gavin would do. No disrespect
Yeah.
to any Gavins listening.
Yeah.
Except for Gavin Sounder. Fuck you.
Gavin Sounder.
Yeah.
Why is he doing all the sounding?
Sounder?
Sound off in the comments.
Who is Gavin Sounder? Is this like a childhood bully of yours or something?
It might be a name, right? So just in case.
What's the joke?
Just
Just
in
because
case.
if there is someone called Gavin Sounder who watches or listens to this, he'll hear his name and go, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, that would have been.
And that just for that one moment of him going, huh?
You couldn't have said Smith.
Gavin Smith.
Gavin
Yeah.
Smith. Whoever heard of Gavin Smith?
Yeah, that's an absurd name.
That's
There's no way that's
stupid.
real. Anyway, I was going to make another joke. Sounder, I barely know her.
Okay.
That's pretty good. All right. Anyway, you have another section for us.
I do. Let's move away from Arcane and talk about the trending tab, to which I have a fun little story to tell you all about the fish that committed credit card fraud.
Huh?
So there was a video posted by IGN, reputable gaming news source.
Yeah.
Okay.
To where you know when they did the Twitch chat plays Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a guy set up a similar thing recently to where his fish plays Pokemon.
Is this like Michael Reeves's fish chooses the stock markets thing? Similar technology?
I think so they have a fish in a tank,
Okay.
and then behind the fish there's a.
How does the
obviously
fish know how to drive a tank? Okay. Stupid.
There's like a set list of like buttons. There's obviously the A button, the start, whatever.
So just like where it goes determines.
Yeah, so wherever the fish swims, there's obviously a thing that scans and shows where it is.
Okay.
And it'll press the button that the fish swims in,
Mhm.
and its goal is obviously to complete Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now, the problem lies in that this was done on a Switch emulator version of whatever Pokemon there was.
Okay.
So what the fish ended up doing in an incredible sequence of events was going to the home menu, the eShop, logging in because it had auto login on, going to buy something, and revealing the credit card information of the user to stream.
That is
Ah.
insane.
It's crazy.
I mean, just incredible that whole, like, the chances of that specific sequence of events are so slim.
Monkeys and
nutty.
typewriters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goldfish and
Wow.
switches.
Goldfish and switches.
Wow.
It was, I was
give
so
it- An
surprised.
infinite room full of goldfish and switches. One of them must eventually reveal your credit card information. That's how the saying goes.
Just, I mean, that did get me thinking.
Is
like,
it possible fish are just smarter than we give them credit for?
well, here's what I was thinking: is what animal would be? I mean, other than now fish,
Yeah.
what would be the most likely animal to commit some kind of credit card fraud?
I think most animals,
Man.
most animals with fingers.
Okay.
But fish don't have fingers.
Fish fingers. What are you talking about?
I've been lied to this whole time.
Well,
Except we call them fish sticks.
Yeah.
do you mean intentionally?
Yes, intentionally.
Apes, gotta be.
I would say dolphins.
Oh,
Okay.
have you ever looked at the eyes of an orangutan?
Yeah,
I
they're
have.
quite sweet.
They are not
Whoa.
They
Sweet. I
are
think they're very sweet.
deep-
They're very
deeply-
sweet.
evil.
No,
Oh.
there was that one orangutan that was saving a guy because he thought he was stuck, but he was actually just removing bad things from a lake to protect the orangutan, and they were both just trying to help each other.
That's nice.
It was a very
Nice.
sweet story about an
Yeah,
orangutan.
But they just, have you seen the ones where it's like a news reporter is talking in a zoo and the orangutan in the background just has this smile of just like, what are you
You've-
about to do?
That's just how they smile.
You've
Oh.
watched too much Jungle Book.
Oh my goodness.
What?
King Louis.
Oh, King
Whatever
Louis.
his name is.
Oh,
Or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. I've read the Jungle Book.
I've read
I
some
see.
of the Jungle Books.
Yeah.
But I've never. I have watched it when I was a kid. I can't remember.
Yeah. Did you watch
Mm.
the remake where it was all
No.
live? Oh, he looks evil in that because he's like a
Yeah.
CGI'd.
Because he looks like a real one,
Because he looks like a real one. Yeah.
and because they look evil.
Well, no, because he is an evil monkey, so he is portrayed as an evil orangutan.
Mm.
Because orangutans are
No.
no,
evil.
I don't
Do you think
so.
lions are evil?
no
Well, then Shere Khan was portrayed as an evil tiger.
So that's a tiger.
Why would they portray him as evil?
Mufasa.
What?
Mufasa?
He
What
was
about
such a good
Mufasa?
guy.
Okay, but Scar,
Scar.
also a lion.
Simba.
Okay, well we can sit here naming lions all day. Okay.
Do you think hyenas are evil?
A little bit. I think they're mischievous,
mischievous,
which is a form
yeah.
of evil.
Okay.
Would
And
they
low
commit
form of
credit
evil.
card fraud?
Yes.
Yeah, hyenas would commit credit card
Okay,
fraud.
but my final answer is parrot.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
good.
It's not because they can speak. I think they
Oh.
just would commit
Yeah.
credit card
But-
fraud.
Like birds that are capable of slightly higher functions.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
ravens for sure.
raven.
Any corvid.
Is it cockatoos? The ones that have like the white plumage on their head.
Sure.
Yellow.
That they
but
kick
sure.
up. They kick over the cups all the time.
Uh-huh.
They stack cups and then they kick them over and they go. "Ah, ah, ah, ah." Those ones.
Yeah, I do
Right.
that too.
They are.
So you're saying the cups are one step away from credit
Yeah.
cards?
Cockatoos are like deeply self-serving and like they have an evil within them that I think,
Okay.
given a chance to unleash, they would just grab at.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's possible.
I think any bird.
Birds.
Birds in
Final
general.
answer: birds.
Okay.
And the
Birds.
survey says
Sorry.
What about ducks?
Stupendium.
Not ducks. Though.
not ducks.
Ducks
Ducks are
are
not
the
birds.
number.
Ducks are
Ducks are
fish.
Ducks are fish.
We've established
And there's
this.
no such thing as fish. So there's no such thing as ducks because birds aren't real.
And this man's credit card was fine
Oh.
because there's no such thing as fish. So this was all just a lie.
Oh, so
Oh,
they just
okay.
lie. Okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, guys. There's no such thing as fish. So there's no such thing as credit card fraud.
Oh, can all sleep safe and secure today.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Just a fun little
That
story
was a fun
that
story.
I found.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is not a conversation, just a note that I have to add is that yesterday I went to the trend, like on Twitter, trending on the right. The trending thing kept changing. So it was trending in
Yeah.
the UK and it kept changing every few minutes. It was wanking.
Yep.
And then it was the wank.
Yep.
And then it was wank club. And then it was wank war.
It escalated.
It escalated.
Oh,
I
my
love how
God.
quickly organized wank crime became
Yeah. It
extant.
became just a whole conflict. But
Yeah.
like, that's just a series of movies, right?
Yeah.
Like Rise of the
That's
Planet of the Apes.
Rise,
yeah. The Planet of the Wanks.
Rise of the
Yeah.
Wanks.
I just needed to say that because it was there for like half an hour going crazy and then it was gone.
You know, Twitter is like more For You page now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get what you're
More
saying.
For You
What are you
page
implying?
based. It's more based on your activity.
I don't think that's true.
It's
No,
It
it's
is
trending.
they've
It's trending in the
implemented
UK. The UK was it was trending in the UK. Everyone in the
Yeah.
UK except for me.
I didn't see it.
I've never wanked.
By the UK, it meant your neighborhood with a K.
No, and there's supposed to be an O in there. It's supposed to be, you okay?
You okay?
You
okay?
Okay.
You okay? You're a lot of wank war right now, huh?
The last thing that I have, I don't know if you have anything after this, but I'd had a comment section comment that I found really funny and it tickled me. And it wasn't it wasn't anything crazy. It was just kind of stupid. Because it was mainly a diss to me, I think.
Okay.
But it still made me laugh because of what it says. It is as follows: he be acting like he's Drake or Eenie Men.
Eenie man.
Eenie man.
Eenie Men.
Eenie man.
Eenie man.
Eenie Men.
Eenie, meenie, miny man.
Eenie, meenie, meenie,
Teeny,
miny
meeny,
man.
man.
You keep acting like you little Eenie man, but you're a really big man.
Are these your new bear names?
Yeah. Oh, my new teddy bears, Big Man and Eenie Man.
So yeah,
I
that
can't believe they
that one
nerfed
tickled
the
me.
green Eenie man.
The green Eenie Man.
Shout out Eenie Nem Raps.
What song of yours did they think that you were trying to be Drake or Eenie Man?
My latest one, Brotherhood. It's
Oh,
not
the
my
one-
latest song, but it's
latest
the
video.
Yeah, because you haven't reacted to it yet, but
Not
you
yet.
will.
I want to. Yeah.
You will. You will.
Oh, I will. Yes, sir.
will. And in it there is some live footage of myself
Okay.
performing. So I guess that
And you want
is
to be
what-
Drake.
I want to be Drake and Eenie Man.
Yeah. Well,
I'm assuming they're trying to say Eminem.
Eminem, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
just
it's
to clarify,
very funny.
Eenie Man is so funny.
ENI Men.
Eenie man.
Eenie Men.
Eenie
Eenie
man.
Man.
This comment, by the way, was deleted. Because I went back to look at it normally and it's just not there.
Did they
That's
try
so
again?
beautiful.
No, I don't think so.
No, they give up.
They gave up.
I
Maybe
feel
maybe they knew I screenshotted it.
I feel like an Eenie Man when I'm in the house with you two,
Yeah.
because you are both quite
Strapping.
Huh?
Tall.
tall. Yes. Are you strapping right now? In the UK, you shouldn't be.
Hey, I rolled up with the strap.
Yeah.
My bag was delayed.
But yeah, I think I have nothing else prepared.
No.
And we've been going for over an hour now.
Yeah,
So.
that probably does us.
Mm.
So thank you, Freeced, for coming down specifically for the NANICAST.
Yeah, thank you so much for traveling just for this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll be getting back on the plane. What time is it?
Oh, now you better go.
No,
Yeah,
I'm late.
You gotta go.
Well, it's been good. I'm trapped.
Yeah, this would be a better bit if there was any way for you to escape.
Yeah. No, hold on. I can
No, do not. Clambers
This is
across
about
the
to be
table.
bed sheets part 2 when I climb over this table.
Oh,
My
my
table.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
That's going to be it from us, I think.
thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one. And yeah, take care.
That's not our ending.
What is it?
We've been the NANICAST.
Okay.
It's Gonna Quest, Shwabados. Will they have a guest this week? Who knows?
Shwabados?
Because on my second channel.
Oh, I guess it is.
Stop interrupting the journey. Gonna Quest,
Yeah.
and Shwabados.
Hey.
Will they have a guest this week? Who knows?
I thought you were going to say, will he have a wank?
Willy Wanker signing off.
We've been the Eenie Men. See you later.
Bye.